Today we're discussing a subject that separates average men from exceptional men: emotional control. When people think about successful men, they often imagine intelligence, wealth, confidence, discipline, or leadership. But beneath all of those qualities lies something even more important: the ability to control emotions rather than be controlled by them. Success is rarely destroyed by a lack of talent. More often, it is destroyed by anger, fear, impatience, insecurity, jealousy, frustration, or impulsive decisions. The difference between a successful man and an unsuccessful man is not that one has emotions and the other doesn't. Both experience fear. Both experience disappointment. Both experience stress. Both experience anger. The difference is that successful men know how to manage those emotions effectively. They understand a powerful truth: emotions are excellent servants but terrible masters. Today we'll explore how successful men develop emotional mastery and how anyone can apply these principles. Part 1. Successful men understand that emotions are temporary. One of the first lessons successful men learn is that emotions are temporary. When something goes wrong, emotions convince us that the current situation will last forever. A failed business deal feels like permanent failure. A rejection feels like permanent humiliation. A mistake feels like permanent damage. But successful men recognize that emotions are passing experiences, not permanent realities. When anger appears, they remind themselves, this feeling will pass. When fear appears, this feeling will pass. When disappointment appears, this feeling will pass. Instead of reacting immediately, they create space between feeling and action. That pause often saves careers, relationships, businesses, and reputations. Many people ruin years of progress because they acted during a moment of emotional intensity. Successful men understand that a temporary emotion should never make a permanent decision. Part 2. They separate facts from feelings. One of the greatest emotional skills is learning to separate facts from feelings. Consider this example. A man sends a business proposal. The client doesn't respond. His feelings tell him, they hate my idea. I'm not good enough. I've failed. But the facts are different. The client may simply be busy. The email may not have been seen. The decision may still be pending. Successful men constantly ask, what are the facts? They don't assume every feeling represents reality. They challenge emotional conclusions. This simple habit prevents unnecessary stress and poor decisions. The ability to think clearly under pressure is one of the strongest competitive advantages a person can develop. Part 3. They master their reactions. Life is unpredictable. People will disappoint you. Plans will fail. Unexpected problems will appear. You cannot control everything that happens, but you can control your response. Successful men understand that reaction is a choice. A delayed flight, a rude customer, a critical boss, an economic downturn. These situations are often outside their control. Instead of wasting energy complaining, they focus on what can be controlled: their attitude, their preparation, their effort, their next step. This mindset transforms obstacles into opportunities. While others spend time blaming circumstances, successful men spend time creating solutions. Part 4. They don't suppress emotions, they manage them. Many people misunderstand emotional control. Emotional control does not mean pretending feelings don't exist. It does not mean acting like a robot. It does not mean never feeling hurt. Successful men allow themselves to feel emotions. The difference is that they don't let emotions take over. They acknowledge anger without becoming aggressive. They acknowledge fear without becoming paralyzed. They acknowledge sadness without abandoning responsibility. Emotional maturity means recognizing feelings while maintaining direction. The goal is not emotional numbness. The goal is emotional leadership. Part 5. They practice discipline daily. Emotional control is not built during a crisis. It is built long before the crisis arrives. Successful men strengthen discipline through daily habits: waking up when they said they would, exercising regularly, keeping commitments, managing finances responsibly, following through on goals. Every small act of discipline strengthens self-control, and self-control in small situations becomes emotional control in large situations. When pressure arrives, disciplined men are prepared because they have trained themselves consistently. Discipline creates emotional stability. Part 6, they think long-term. Emotion often focuses on immediate comfort. Success focuses on long-term rewards. Successful men frequently ask, what will matter 5 years from now? This question changes everything. An insult today may feel important. 5 years later, it means nothing. A temporary setback today may seem devastating. 5 years later, it may become a valuable lesson. Long-term thinking reduces emotional overreaction. It helps men make decisions based on purpose, rather than temporary feelings. The future belongs to people who can delay gratification and remain focused on larger goals. Part 7. They control their environment. Successful men understand that emotions are influenced by environment. Negative people create negative emotions. Constant drama creates emotional exhaustion. Poor habits create emotional instability. Successful men carefully manage what they watch, what they read, who they spend time with, what conversations they participate in. They know that emotional strength becomes harder when surrounded by negativity. Protecting your environment protects your mindset, and protecting your mindset protects your future. Part 8. They learn from failure. Most people view failure emotionally. Successful men view failure strategically. Instead of asking, why did this happen to me? They ask, what can this teach me? Every setback contains information. Every mistake contains feedback. Every loss contains lessons. Emotion says, I lost. Wisdom says, I learned. This perspective transforms failure into growth. Many of the world's most accomplished men experienced repeated setbacks before achieving success. Their advantage was not avoiding failure. Their advantage was learning from it. Part 9. They remain calm under pressure. Pressure reveals character. Anyone can appear confident when things are easy. The true test comes during uncertainty. Successful men train themselves to remain calm. They slow down, they gather information, they assess options. They avoid panic. Calmness creates clarity, and clarity creates better decisions. In business, leadership, sports, and life, calm individuals often outperform more talented but emotionally unstable competitors. Calmness is a skill, and like any skill, it improves through practice. Part 10. They avoid emotional arguments. Many men lose opportunities because they feel the need to win every argument. Successful men understand that not every battle deserves attention. Sometimes silence is stronger than a response. Sometimes walking away is wiser than proving a point. Sometimes preserving peace is more valuable than being right. They ask themselves, will this matter tomorrow? If the answer is no, they often choose restraint. Emotional intelligence means knowing when to engage and when to let go. Part 11. They build strong support systems. Even the strongest men need support. Successful men understand that emotional control does not mean isolation. They seek wise mentors. They maintain trusted friendships. They communicate with people who provide perspective. Strong support systems help prevent emotional decisions during difficult periods. No man succeeds entirely alone. Wisdom often grows through healthy relationships. Part 12. They take responsibility. Perhaps the greatest emotional skill successful men develop is responsibility. Blame is emotionally satisfying. Responsibility is empowering. Blame says, it's their fault. Responsibility says, what can I do now? Blame keeps people stuck. Responsibility creates progress. Successful men focus less on who caused the problem and more on how to solve it. This mindset accelerates growth and strengthens resilience. Part 13. They develop inner confidence. Emotionally reactive people often depend on external validation. Successful men build confidence internally. Their self-worth is not determined by every opinion. Not every criticism shakes them. Not every rejection destroys them. Not every setback defines them. Their confidence comes from preparation, integrity, competence, and experience. Because their foundation is internal, they remain stable even when external circumstances change. Part 14. They protect their energy. Successful men recognize that energy is valuable. They don't waste it on unnecessary drama. They don't spend hours worrying about things they cannot control. They don't chase every distraction. They focus on priorities. They conserve emotional energy for goals, relationships, health, and purpose. Where attention goes, energy flows. And where energy flows, results grow. Conclusion. As we conclude, remember this. Successful men are not successful because they never feel fear. They are successful because they act despite fear. They are not successful because they never feel anger. They are successful because they control anger before anger controls them. They are not successful because they never experience failure. They are successful because failure does not stop them. Emotional control is not about becoming emotionless. It is about becoming emotionally disciplined. It is the ability to stay focused when others panic, to remain patient when others rush, to remain calm when others react, to remain committed when others quit. The man who masters his emotions gains a tremendous advantage in life. Because when you control your emotions, you control your decisions. When you control your decisions, you control your actions. And when you control your actions consistently, you control your future. Thank you.